Hello, YouTube land. This is my channel, UVU. I made some content a while back. I deleted it years ago, but listening to the whole world right now after 4 years, these last 4 years, and living through it and watching what's happening, I'm kind of appalled. And I just want to try to put my 2 cents in here where I think people should actually try to attempt. Okay, because right now I think people are just spinning their wheels. I don't think they're uh, thinking things through. Okay, um, I, this is going to be hard for people to actually accept. Okay, after the 2008 crash, I looked into economics and everything, and I found something very appalling. Okay, and I need to. I'm seeing stuff again happen with big tech. I'm being, muzzling the mouth of the president of the United States. Seeing stuff with mainstream media of just flat out lies through omission. Okay, or just flat out lies. I mean, it doesn't matter which side you're from. Okay, if you're from one side, you think the other side is lying. If you're from another side, you think the other side is lying. So it doesn't really matter where it comes from. Okay, but I think people are actually been doing things for decades that I don't think they think through what they've actually done. Okay, because right now you have big tech that is basically governing everything now. Okay, they're trying to make the court of public opinion the high court of the land, and the scary thing is it's kind of working. Okay, you got censorship happening. People that are of certain political affiliations are being censored. Okay, YouTube channels are being censored. They can't say certain words. Okay, that's a lot of power. There's a lot of power and control that these things actually have. But how did these things actually? They're just corporations, people. They're just corporations. How did they get this power and control? Okay, corporations are not living entities. Okay, if they're going to be exercising power control at some point in time, that power control had to be given to them. Okay, so at some point in time, somebody had to consent to this. Okay, and this is what's going to be the hard pill to swallow for some people, because I'm hearing some stuff out there that short circuits and everything, and it's kind of aggravating. Okay, so I want to talk to 401kers, Roth IRAs, pensioners, people that privately invest, basically people that have their money tied up in the markets. Okay, because you can do something that could, whatever you guys call this beast, this creature, this thing, okay, that's taking power control. Okay, you guys can, put some wound on this thing. You guys can injure it in some way. But right now, I don't hear anything about what I'm about to spill for. Okay, but this is how these things actually got power control in the first place. Okay, when you enter into a contract, all contracts have something that is called consideration. Okay, consideration is basically, layman terms, before you enter into the contract, both parties stand a chance to gain something. Okay, when you sign on the dotted line after you enter the contract, both parties stand a chance to lose something. Okay, pensioners are kind of different. Pensioners, this system is so dug in like a tick that pensioners basically have to do this by law, or do this by corporate policy or union policy. Okay, they have to do this. They're forced to do this. Okay, but as far as I know, 401kers, Roth IRAs, and private investors, they're not forced to do this by law. Okay, so, but when you enter into that contract to do this, this system highly depends on the ignorance of what you're actually doing. Okay, and ignorant does not mean stupid. Okay, ignorant just means unknowledgeable of certain things. Okay, I want to try to bring some knowledge to people's heads so they know what they're actually doing. Okay, when they actually enter into this contract. Okay, why did you put into a 401k, a Roth IRA, or private invest? Okay, you got people investing in Bitcoin now. Okay, why are you guys doing this? Okay, everybody knows the answer. Okay, you're going to get more money out of a system than what you put into the system. Okay, that's your side of what you gain out of entering this contract. The other party gains something, and what it's gained is obviously power and control. Okay, and they're exercising that power and control against you. Okay, but people need to wake up to what they're actually doing when they actually do this. Okay, this is what I want people to do. Just unlock this real fast. I'm gonna try to make this a quick video. Okay, so people could just unlock this. This is at your fingertips, people. The power is at your finger. If you guys don't want to do this, this is fine. Okay, this is all I could do to try to impart some type of knowledge onto people. Okay, just go on to Google. Okay, think of any corporation that you think is corrupt. Okay, any, Twitter, whatever first one comes to your mind. This is what I want you to actually do. Okay, I want you to search who owns such and such company and put the term institutional ownership behind it. So who owns said company, institutional ownership. Okay, the reasons why you're actually putting institutional ownership behind there is because when you hit enter, you're going to hit results, and then I want you to go to the first market. Okay, most of the time you're going to hit NASDAQ. Okay, sometimes you may hit New York Stock Exchange. It really doesn't matter. Institutional ownership is in both of them. Okay, but say NASDAQ, for example, you hit NASDAQ, go to the market, the very first market page comes up. Okay, and you're going to see a ticker symbol and everything else. I want you to scroll down to the bottom of the page. Okay, this works 9 times out of 10. Some people may have to dig a little deeper, okay, to find this information that I'm about to give you. Okay, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and what I want you to do is I want you to look at all, conveniently, the bottom of that page. You have a list of all the institutional investors that actually own stock in that corporation. What is an institutional investor? An institutional investor just takes normal, everyday people's money, like yours and mine, and invest it for them. Okay? Have you ever played chess with yourself? Okay? If you play chess with yourself, the logical outcome is a stalemate. Okay? The only way you can make that game at any type of, of a challenge, you're going to have to play somebody else on the other side of that thing. Okay? But this is what people are actually doing. They're playing chess with themselves. But the other side of the chessboard is a proxy. Okay? This is the first lesson people need to learn about what they actually do when they give their money to these. An institutional investor, whatever its name, okay, yeah, there's thousands of institutional investors, okay? T. Rowe Price, BlackRock, Vanguard, Berkshire Hathaway, okay? There's thousands of them, okay? They just take normal, everyday people's money and they invest it for them, okay? What they are to you from your perspective is they are a proxy. Okay, proxy is defined as one given the authority to act on another's behalf. So what they're doing is exactly what you want them to do. Okay, you want them to do, but they are acting the character of who hit the enter button to join the 401k or Roth IRA. Okay, the one that wanted to make more money out of a system than what they put into a system, which is typically the reason why people do this. They are playing that character for them. They are an investor. Okay, this is what appalls me about some people. They totally forget they hit this enter button. They totally forget they joined this Roth IRA years ago, decades ago, and they totally forgot that they are an investor. When you do this, you are an investor. You're investing money, and you're investing money for gain. Okay? But that institutional investor is a proxy from your perspective, which means you are a buy proxy. Okay, so when you go to that institutional, that website, and you look at the list of institutional investors, this is another thing you need to realize, okay, is that there's a shit ton of institutional investors. Not just your institutional investor owns this corporation, this corrupt corporation that you put in, mind you, okay, that there's behind every institutional investor millions of people. I would advise people to search institutional investors, power and responsibility, and go to the SEC.gov website where a person named Aguilar did a speech about the power and responsibility of institutional investors. Just the sheer amount of shares that trade hands when they make a decision, okay? But on the bottom of that is what I want people to actually, because I need to unpack this with some type of data so people will believe me, because right now people are looking pretty foolish, okay? On the bottom of that article, when he's speaking, or this Aguilar is speaking about the conclusion, and I will paraphrase here, it says, in conclusion, it is an undeniable fact that behind all institutional investors are millions of American workers, savers, retirees, and other private investors. Okay? That's millions of people behind these. Okay? Before I go any further, I want to tell you how much money we're actually talking about here. Okay, you can look this up on the internet. Okay, you can look up what's the average income for a household. What's the average amount they contribute into their plan? What's the average company match? Okay, and how many people in this country are actually doing this? You're going to actually come up to a figure of about $60 billion a month. The people, this is new money rolling into the system every month, people. $60 billion a month. Good God, that's damn near $750 billion a year. Okay, being poured into this. Okay, this figure does not include the amount of money that's already in your account before you make your next month's contribution. Okay, how much money is in everybody's account? Okay, I'd venture to say, take a guess, that if you added the market cap of the New York Stock Exchange and the market cap of NASDAQ, which is what you'd have to pay to buy every corporation on that market, in both those markets, I'd make a guess that most of that money, most of those corporations are owned. The funds that own them are owned by normal, everyday people like 401kers, Roth IRAs. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, so the first thing you need to know, another thing you need to realize when you're out at that website is to find out that, and let it click in your head, is that you're running around out here calling a corporation that is corrupt, and you yourself is making money off this this company. You're making money off this damn thing, and you're complaining about it. Okay, so how you take the power control back from it? Okay, another thing people need to realize, this system can care less about y'all's differences out here. Okay, it could care less about whether you're black, white, gay, straight, male, female, trans, Republican, Democrat, independent, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, atheist. Hell, you don't even have to be an American. Okay, this thing could care less. The reason why I say that is because there's people in every one of those groups that invest for a gain. They do exactly what 401kers do, Roth IRAs do. Okay, they don't do anything different. This system depends on people doing a common thing. Okay, so the differences doesn't matter. It's what you all agree on that matters. Okay, and you're all pouring this money into this system. Okay, that's what you need to realize too, is that it doesn't matter about your differences out here. Okay, this is about power control, and this is about how to actually take this power control back. Okay, it doesn't make any sense for somebody to say, it's almost like people are committing destructive interference. Destructive interference in this context would be somebody saying boycott Walmart. Okay, but what they're doing is they're investing in Walmart for a gain. Okay? It's doing something 180 degrees out of agreement with what, so you're actually, what you're saying is 180 degrees out of phase with what you're doing. Okay? It just cancels it out. Okay? It's null effect. It doesn't do anything. So it doesn't do anything to actually complain about boycotting Walmart. Okay, it doesn't do anything when you're over here making money off of Walmart. What you really want to do is make money off of Walmart. So going telling everybody to boycott Walmart, it's going to take money from over here from you. Okay, that's another thing people actually need to realize. Okay, Then another thing people need to realize is that, hopefully you just realize this, seeing this website, okay, you can put in any corporation you want. Okay, the mass amount of people that have zero clue that they're investors to begin with, okay, and the mass amount of people that are doing this that have no clue, zero clue, how many corporations that their money is tied up into, let alone their damn names. Okay, now you just found one that you think is corrupt, and you're making money off of it. This is what I want you to actually do. Again, when you're in the bottom of that page, you find your institutional investor in that list. I want you to click your institutional investor. There should be a link embedded behind it, and it's going to take you to a page of just your institutional investor and how many corporations that your institutional investor is invested in. This can range from hundreds of thousands depending on the institutional investor. Okay, and this is what people need to realize as well. Those corporations, they are in what are called industries. Okay, there's oil industries, banking industries, okay, health insurance industries, pharmaceutical industries. Okay, the only way people can do this and get gains is if every dime that you invest, or your reinvested dividends, okay, every dime that you invest is invested in just about every industry that supplies anybody a product. That's including you, that's including your loved ones, your mom, your dad, your grandma buying her pharmaceuticals, okay? Yeah, that's how people get their gains off their money, okay, is selling these products to all these corporations, okay? Have you ever bitched about a price? You might want to see if you own the damn company that's selling it to you. Okay, I cannot make gains off of my 401k. I quit doing this years ago, okay, but just to play devil's advocate here, I cannot make more gains off my 401k unless you pay an exorbitant price. You cannot make any gains off of your 401k unless I pay an exorbitant price. That's how the system works, okay? So all your loved ones and everybody you claim you care about, you're selling products. In hindsight, you're selling products to your loved ones at inflated prices so you can get a gain. Okay? That's beside the point at this point. I mean, I can make a video on that later on. This is about power control and how to get this power control back. Because there's so much that people don't understand about what they're actually doing. Okay? As far as I can tell, a 401k and a Roth IRA or some private investors, their arms are not being twisted to put into a 401k or a Roth IRA. So this is what people actually need to understand what they can actually do. And I'll tell you, if people don't do something fast, man, I'll tell you, this system that's taking control right now, it's almost like it's self-aware. This thing is growing a conscience. This thing can pick a political party. Okay, this thing can censor people that is not for its agenda. Okay, it doesn't care about political parties. It just wants to push an agenda. Okay, I mean, this thing's going to flat out tell people what religion or probably invent its own. Okay, and that'll be the only one you can actually worship. Okay, and they'll do this just by denying and demonizing the one you do worship. Okay, that's how bad the system's going to go if somebody doesn't do anything, something. So hopefully you guys do this, okay? Go to your institutional investor's website and go to your contribution page, and you drop your contributions down to 0, okay? Now, people, you guys will say boycott a certain corporation. Boycott buying products from a certain corporation. But what you will not do is boycott the ownership of that corporation. This is what you need to do. You need to boycott the ownership of that corporation. So you take you're on your institutional investor's website, and you take your contributions down to 0. This is totally legal. You can totally do this. And then contact your institutional investor with a list of corporations that you think is corrupt that's on your portfolio, it's on your investment vehicle, and you tell them, if these corporations remain on your portfolio, Mr. or institutional investor, then you're not going to receive any more contributions from me. Okay, corporations also own stock in other corporations. That's not uncommon. Tell them you're going to be watchful of corporations that own stock in these lists of corporations. Okay, and if they refuse to do that, you're not going to put any money into your account, contributions anymore until those are removed as well. Okay, make sure that that corporation isn't connected to any indexes on your portfolio. Okay, and if they do not do this and they do not follow your demands, you tell them that you want to drain your account and you are willing to pay the penalty to drain the whole account. Now, people, I'm not stupid. I know I probably lost you. It drop your contributions down to zero. This system, that's what it wants you to do, is worry about your damn money. Okay? It wants you to worry about your future. Okay? What do you think about your future now? Okay? Running around talking and squawking and complaining about it hasn't done anything. Okay? The future doesn't look very good now. Okay? The impact of what everybody doing this at once would have on these corporations would take back power control of these corporations. Okay? They will then do what you tell them to do. Okay? Because I'll tell you, these corporations, they're about to take away your constitutional rights. I mean, they're already telling you what to say and how to say it. So people really need to think. So take that. Let them take your contributions down to zero. You have to tell the system why. You have to tell this beast why. Okay, tell your institutional investor why you're doing this, and give the names of the corporations. And if you want to CC copy these to these said corporations in your list, go right ahead. Okay, but this is what needs to actually be done if people want to regain power control back in these corporations. Because I'll tell you, it's going to be pretty sad unless people actually do that. I mean, this is the only thing I can see to put some type of death blow to what's actually happening. Because right now, I see people talking out of one side of their mouth and they're doing something 180 degrees out of what they're actually saying. I mean, heck, boycott both. Boycott buying the freaking product and boycott owning the damn company. This is your choice, okay? Pensioners typically cannot do this. Maybe they could later on after you guys are done, okay? But 401ks, Roth IRAs, and private investors do not have to actually do this. This is the impact, and there are a ton of those investors out there. So this can actually make a huge impact to the actual system itself. So hopefully you guys get that, and hopefully you guys are understanding a little bit more about investing for gain and what it actually does to the system. Because all of you put together did not create this system alone. So to destroy it or take back control of it, you're going to have a mass amount of people actually doing it. Okay, so because see, you guys are very smart. You guys are a lot of people out there, they actually think through their minds of how things can have. They can foretell this future based upon what they're about to pass in Congress. Okay, let's take the $15 an hour minimum wage hike. Okay, y'all are smart enough to know and figure out that if you do this in mass, the byproduct of doing that is going to be higher prices for everybody. Okay, that's true. Okay, but why can't you use that same level of logic, same level of reasoning, same level of critique to critique what you and millions of people in this country are doing, investing for gain, and what it has done to society for decades? Okay, what's being sacrificed to this thing is your freedom, your patriotism, just a mere amount. Okay, this thing is going to take money from people who are not even born yet. That's how bad the system's actually getting. Okay, from your perspective, it was a good thing. From the whole's perspective, what you're doing is a bad thing. Okay, that's again, that could be another video. But right now, people need to take back control of these corporations because it's getting pretty damn aggravating about listening to people just spinning their wheels out here, not being able to do anything about it. That's what people can do. They can boycott the ownership of these corporations, and that's how you do it. Okay, so if you want to like this video, comment on this video. I may make more videos based upon how good this takes off. But till then, hopefully you guys gain some type of knowledge of what I actually put across. Okay, so you guys have a good one. You guys have God bless. Bye.